So, Omni-Man, one of the most important characters that's come out of recent media. And yeah, while casual watchers might just see him as just another evil Superman, well, that is actually kinda true, only this time his planet didn't die like Krypton did. Now, in all seriousness, Omni-Man is inspired by Superman in terms of idea and superpowers, but in terms of origins and personality, he is completely different, and so let's talk about that. So let's start off in the beginning, and by beginning, I mean a little bit of backstory on Viltrum and Viltrumites. So what is Viltrum? Viltrum is a planet in the Invincible universe where it is filled with Viltrumites, war-hungry, ruthless killers. They don't care about anything except for expanding their empire. And to expand their empire, they would send one Viltrumite to a planet to offer a proposition. It's either the planet resists and die, or join the Viltrum Empire where they'll be enslaved. I know, pretty easy choice, huh? Now, you may be thinking, how strong are these Viltrumites that they only send one of them to conquer planets? Well, you see, each Viltrumite has something inside of them called smart atoms, small particles that add mass and energy from the environment to one's body, which makes Viltrumites extremely hard to kill, because this allows them to survive the heat of the sun or the coldness of space. And also, the most obvious one, smart atoms allows them to have super strength and super durability. Now, Omni-Man was on a mission to conquer Earth. He was cold, vicious, pretty much a true Viltrumite, but when he arrived on Earth, he met Debbie, and they would get to know each other and blah blah blah, and eventually they got married, and have a kid named Mark. But wait a minute, Omni-Man's mission was to conquer Earth, not creating a family there. What made him change his mind from conquering Earth to protecting it? Now, first and foremost, and the most obvious reason, is Debbie. When Omni-Man arrived here on Earth, it was Debbie who taught him what it is to be human, amongst other things. Now, the second reason is Mark. You see, when Mark was born, he didn't get powers, and it would stay that way for years, and so Nolan just kinda accepted it and embraced his life as a superhero on Earth, completely abandoning his mission to conquer Earth, because even though he is loyal to Viltrum, he now has a family on Earth that he gotta take care of. Now, things would seem to go well for Nolan until Mark got his powers. And when Mark got his powers, he's kinda in a haze, because if Mark would just stay without powers, then both Mark and Debbie would just die eventually, and then Omni-Man can conquer the planet in peace. But now, because Mark got his powers, this changes everything, because now Mark's gonna live pretty much as long as him, if not longer. And that's when he realized that he can't continue being a family man no more, as literally in the end of the first episode, he killed the Guardians of the Globe, and after he killed them, he tries to keep up his friendly persona to everyone as he thinks of a way to tell Mark about the true Viltrum. And I also love how the show don't just pull a complete 180 on Nolan, as they tease his true personality bit by bit, whether it's through wiping out a planet, or how Nolan keeps spacing out for some reason. It's almost like he has a lot on his mind. And in episode 7, even though Nolan has defeated countless strong foes before with no sweat, when it comes to telling the truth to Mark, it scares him, because he's afraid that Mark's gonna reject him and hate him. We even see him practicing his lines on what he's gonna say to Mark. And when he did tell Mark about it in the worst possible way ever, like he told Mark literally right after he killed Immortal and covered up in his blood, like what did you think was gonna happen? But yeah, Mark ended up refusing Nolan, and as Nolan tries to convince Mark through less civilized methods, Mark still says no. But even though Nolan had just beaten Mark to the very inch of his life, Mark still calls him dad. And when he did, Nolan finally realized what he has done. He finally realized that what kind of father beat his own son to a bloody pulp, and what kind of husband tells his wife that she is just a pet. And so, finally realizing what he has done, he can't bear with the guilt as he left Earth. And now, Nolan, drifting through the empty void of space, thinks about his life. He has betrayed his family, betrayed his home, his planet Viltrum brands him as a traitor now, and so with nowhere to go, he just drifts through space, thinking, resenting, feeling guilty, and everything else. But you can't really blame Nolan for his bad actions, cause he was born and raised on Viltrum to be a loyal killing machine. Nolan is such a fantastic character because he somehow manages to be the icon of fear and also the icon of sympathy. We as the audience fear him and yet empathize with him. Even though Nolan is a brutal killing machine, he fights for what he thinks is right. At first it was fighting for Viltrum to conquer Earth, but as he arrives on Earth, he becomes its protector. And so this paradox is what we see Nolan struggle with throughout the show. And it's also fascinating how Nolan can be a hero and a villain at the same time. Like literally at the first episode we see him brutally killing the Guardians of the Globe, and yet throughout the season we still see him as a good guy, which proves the complexity and layers that he has as a character. And now speaking of characters, Omni-Man has a very intriguing character development. From a heartless Viltrumite to a husband, and now to a broken father, Omni-Man is a great example of a well-written character. And when Omni-Man was drifting through the empty void of space, Omni-Man just wants his family back. So, in conclusion, Omni-Man is a great character. He's not perfect by any chance. All he wants is just his family back, but because now he's a villain to everyone, he can't. So yeah, that is it for the video, and as always, thanks for watching, and see ya.